such a time as this.
And welcome back to For Such a Time as This, the place where there is no such thing as a silent witness. Want to encourage you to go to our webpage, for such a time as this.today. For such a time as this.today. There you can stay up to date on the newest content and actually sign up for our email list. You get an email once a week on Saturday. We try to get out on Saturday all of the new material that was published for that week. Real simple, real short and simple video right here. Proverbs 29:2, when the righteous increase, the people rejoice. But when the wicked rule, the people groan. This is something I think, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that it's a huge problem for us. When infrastructure goes down, our way of life in America could be changed in the blink of an eye. This gas story going on in the southeast corridors of our country, it's a big, big deal.
Welcome back. Drivers are struggling to find gasoline after a cyber attack on the Colonial Pipeline. Lydia Hu is in Avenel, New Jersey this morning. She's got more on this. Lydia, good morning to you.
Good morning, Maria. We are in Avenel, like you said, actually near the end of the Colonial Pipeline. You can actually see the tanks just behind me. These hold fuel that is transported through the pipeline coming from Texas. But analysts tell me that the fuel moves through the pipeline very slowly, traveling only about 3 to 5 miles an hour. So any fuel that started leaving Texas yesterday during the Colonial Pipeline's restart could take weeks to reach New Jersey. And that's part of the reason why relief is not expected at the pumps for days in areas that are having outages. Take a look at this. This is the latest from Gas Buddy to show us more than a dozen states are still having outages. As of last night, North Carolina, more than 74% of stations reporting outages. Reports from Georgia showing about 50% of stations having outages there. And those outages continued to tick up yesterday, even after this restart of the pipeline. Atlanta area, about 70% of stations having outages there. Now, experts say there were a couple of issues causing the outages. First, of course, the disruption in supply. Then, when states and the federal government rolled back on safety regulations, allowing trucks to transport more gas and fuel, the ongoing shortage in truck drivers slowed that delivery. Then there was the consumer run at the gas stations and reports of hoarding. All of this is reason why that relief at the pump in the affected areas is not expected to come today. Listen.
Maybe a couple of weeks before things really start to feel normal. That is, you don't have to put in a whole lot of effort to find gas. So this is something that still could be a factor, a headache up until Memorial Day weekend, and it should really ease after that.
That's a big deal. That's a big deal. When the righteous increase, the people rejoice, but when the wicked rule, the people groan. I had a friend many years ago. He said this. He grew up in Europe, and he says, you Americans go to bed, and you think the world you went to sleep in is the world you're going to wake up in. That's not necessarily true. All throughout history, people have gone to bed and woke up to a world that was totally different, whether the country had collapsed, whether communism had taken over, or whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, when I don't think we've ever had anyone hack a gas pipeline and shut down life like it did here. Now, this was small. If they could do it, though, and part of, if you listen to the story, part of the slowness, too, was regulation. Government had to relax regulation. Well, heck, if you could relax it now, well, I guess maybe safety, because of the emergencies, they risk reward. But government regulation, This is a big deal. This is a big, big deal. And so what do we as Christians do? We trust in our God. We keep our eyes open and we prepare. We prepare. I mean, I think it's only wise to prepare, because this is something I never would have thought. I don't think any of us have ever experienced gas shortages because of a hack. Hey, I think the chaos is increasing. Trust God. Oh, and Maranatha.
For such a time as this,